as we said, first lesson, anytime I do a lesson, we can look at setup. Okay, now if we look at the left-hand one here now, you can see a little bit of a curve in the back there, and when you actually put the club down, you can see that you've got sort of a straight line there from your arm to the club there. It just looks a little bit sort of hunched down there. And if you look at the angle of your face, sounds a bit daft, I know, that's the angle of your face there. Look at the angle of your face there, so your head now is up. It's not head down. And again, whoever tells you to keep your head down, go and want it at the lecture, say cheers, whatever, and ignore them, because keeping your head down is the worst thing you can actually do. But yeah, it's the most common bit of advice I probably on any golf course 100 times a day. Keep your head down, Jay, keep your head down, Jay, or you top it, keep your head down. It's just said all the time, okay? What we've got to do is get your spine in a position, okay, where you can actually rotate better. So your arms are hanging down and there's a slight angle. I'll be honest, we could go a little bit more, but I think at the moment you're comfortable with that amount of change and you feel that you can do it. Too much change too early can ruin you, okay? So it's always worth having just a small little progression from bit by bit, because if you think your scores are kind of, I know, so you're shooting, look at it this way, 100, and you want to get down to like low 80s, you're not going to go boom in one straight line. It's going to be sort of some sort of like wiggly line that way. So if you do too much too early, it will become a little bit too unfamiliar, and you'll just think, I can't do this, and you'll just be like, okay, it's horrendous, and you'll play a lot worse. I kind of agree in the phrase 1 step back to go 3 steps forward. But if it's 20 foot back before you go 20 foot forward, it's going to be a bit of a tough to sort of compete with that. Okay, so getting that posture better, so you're basically sticking your hips back, sticking your back side out, getting yourself in a better spine angle. Swing wise then, at the moment, keep it the same, because that's still comfortable. Yes, it's a little bit more upright than we want, but as we go back now with the club, okay, because the spine angle's better, the club can now come back and bottom out of the golf ball. You can see how your arms are slightly rising, which they will do anyway, and that's kind of more instinct, okay? But because of that, you can see your elbows and your arms now, kind of a bit of a gap there between left and right arm, means this right hand a bit underneath again, which might cause a couple of hooky ones, which we'll discuss in a bit more detail in a second, okay? But at least you're able now to rotate through fully. You get a nice sort of full movement there with your right foot, your hips, everything rotating around, and I said from the start, the one thing, hopefully you haven't had any pain or stretch down there. So all we want to say, someone will just turn more, I can't do that. Well, yeah, if you're in a position where you can't physically turn, you ain't going to turn. And if you try to turn more than you physically can, it's going to hurt, whether you had a broken rib or not. So it's getting yourself in a position whereby you can actually effectively move and get your body in a more dynamic position, okay? So for the moment, it's going to be 100% set up, and then probably tweaking around some certain things in terms of the swing. But if you go away and think, okay, right, I'm going to spend, I don't know, a week or two or whatever it may be, working on that posture, but yet still keeping my swing feeling natural, you can then go on the golf course and start playing and not think, oh my God, where's it going? So if you say start playing the golf course and just duffed and topped and everything horrendous, you'd be like, I'm not enjoying that. You want to still stay at some level, even though the scores may not straight away come down, at least you can start hitting the ball and feeling more comfortable with your playing, because at the moment, you're going to be in that sort of phase of learning called the conscious competent. You can do it, but you've got to think about it. And when you're on the golf course, you want to be thinking about what club to take, where am I going to go? Should I go the left-hand side, the right-hand side? Not, is my hips back, is my chest down, and my arms hanging down? Because if you're thinking about that, you then sometimes neglect the other stuff, which is fine in the early stage, because that's what you want to focus on mainly to start with, is the setup. But once that becomes more natural, we can sort of tweak that swing angle a little bit, then your focus can then step towards thinking, right, let's club down there. Because the guys off 10 and 12 you make you play with, they will do that like that. They're going to golf course, they say that, okay, right, 150 yards, got bunk on the right side, okay, 7 iron on the left hand side, done. And it'll be that thought process will be done in a split second. So when they're with the golf, they're not thinking about lots of different things. When people first start playing golf, and I think the introduction of the internet has been fantastic for golfers to get them started, but it's knowing when to stop. And no one in the history of YouTube, which most people use, has gone to YouTube, clicked on one video and clicked off. Have they? You click on one related video, and your brain is just like in overload mode, isn't it?
Well, YouTube has fried me, because I had to go on, like, oh, what have I done wrong today now?
And you click on how to stop it, how to do.
Well, I go on YouTube, and there's about 5 different people, and they all say 5 different things.
Exactly.
So I'm like,
which one do you use? Exactly. And the thing is, what they're saying isn't necessarily wrong. All the ones I'm in, the Rick Shields, the Crossfields, the Me and My Golf, and all the Andy and those boys and stuff, they're all saying the correct thing. It's their own sort of way and their interpretation of it. The problem is they're trying to teach a swing and a method, but yet deep down, not one swing fits all.
No.
So all their 5 million followers who are watching their swing, those swings might fit 10 people, 20 people at most. So if you're one of those 10 or 20 people, happy days. But if you're not, then it's a complete irrelevance. It'd be like saying, okay, right, we got a front row coach going to come do a video to help you guys play better rugby. I'm a centre. Well, no, he's a front row coach. Fine, it's all rugby, isn't it? oh no, I play a different position.
Yeah.
It's not going to fit, is it?
No.
So you'll start doing things. Hang on, what are you doing about this guy? In the step in the scrum, and in the scrum. So it's got to be relevant to the individual. Okay, so they can get you started with some bases on grip and setup and all those sort of things. But I think when you start going to swing development and how you change the swing, and the club must be here, the club must do that, and you hinge and turn, and your brain just gets frazzled. And if you're thinking, I mean, you think about the quicker the swing is, the swing starts at, say, 8.5 seconds, you're making contact, just after 9.5. What can you think of in 1 second?
Not that much.
Exactly. So we can do all this thought behind the golf ball when you stood there looking at the trees, looking at the bunkers and the trouble and what you want to try and avoid and the target. Think as much as you want. But when you get in the position of hitting the golf ball, it needs to be a reaction, boom, boom, boom. A set-up trigger and then a swing, okay, change the low point or whatever it may be. Because your low point was, originally, we said behind the ball.
Yeah.
We're moving it now in front of the ball.
Yeah.
But from that position, you can't really do it.
No.
Okay. Does that all make sense then, yeah?
It does, yeah.
Any questions sort of around that, so to speak, or anything you think of? I mean,
is that the same setup then for all the clubs?
With all the
Even
clubs,
with the
the
driver?
club would. What happens if we sort of kind of keep you in there? Okay. So I mean, in an ideal world, if this is, I'll do a bigger line so we can see. Hang on. That will be your spine angle. We'll say for. So the blue line in an ideal world would be a 7 or 8 iron in there.
Yeah.
That will kind of be your setup there with a 7 iron. Okay.
Yeah.
If I change colour, we go to yellow. Your driver will be there because the club's longer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the yellow line will be longer, but we're still kind of maintaining that 90-degree angle with the 2. And then if we go like a pitching wedge, your pitching wedge will be there. Arms hanging down, and there. So we look at that there. That's kind of, this is sort of maybe a bit awkward to see, like abstract, but the red line will be kind of your wedge, your 9, your 8 maybe. Your blue line will be sort of your 8, your 7, your 6, your 5, and the yellow line will be your sort of your woods and maybe your 4 line kind of thing. But that's going to be determined based on where the golf ball is in terms of how long the club is.
Yeah.
What you'll notice, hopefully, though, is all those positions, the hands are in the same spot.
Yeah.
It's not here's a driver way out here and then bringing your wedge in close here. You still want your arms to be hanging down there. So if you effectively, if you had 3 balls in a row and you could hold 3 clubs in a hand at one time, you can make one swing and your wedge is 7, your drive all in one go. Because your hands are going to come out the same spot. Yeah. Effectively, or near enough to, rather than sort of driver up there and wedge in here. Okay. For me, it's about get one swing memorised and muscle memory, and then just adjust to the length of the club. Not having 14 different golf swings because it's hard enough at the best of times trying to have 14 different.
I try to stick out, get this in my head now.
Exactly. Well, I will send you this through anyway. It's been recorded, you can maybe say. I'll send this through to you.
Right.
There'll be a video you have to click on and stuff. That'll be a reminder every time you go to the range. Okay, right, what have I got to try and do? What I suggest to a lot of people is just sort of maybe, let's zoom in a little bit so you can see it clearer. Screen grab that kind of thing. Yeah. So you've got that on your phone. What should I look like? If you've got range with mirrors, you can come here and say, you can always bother mirrors here or wherever you go to practice and so on. Look at that and try and get that. What we're looking for in an ideal world at the moment, okay, I would say would be more on that line there. So your hands are inch or 2 nearer and a little bit lower there. Right. But we're talking gradually bit by bit. At the moment, this position you're in now is comfortable. Yeah. And you're in the ball further. Yeah. It's going a little bit to the left because the hand's underneath, but that'll creep around over time. Yeah. Okay. Happy with that then, yeah?
Outstanding.